Percentages are sometimes given as a decimal number, for example 7.5%. If we want to write it as a fraction, since a percentage is a fraction with 100 as a denominator, we write it as 7.5 over 100. But we need to change the numerator into a whole number. We need to multiply it by 2. To get an equivalent fraction, we must also multiply the denominator, 100, by 2 to get 15 over 200. I can now cancel down the fraction. Because both the numbers end in 5 or 0, they can both be divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 200 divided by 5 is 40. 3/40ths can't be cancelled down any further, so 7.5% as a fraction is 3/40ths. Alternatively, to change the 7.5 into a whole number, I could have multiplied it by 10 to give 75. But if I multiply the numerator by 10, I must also multiply the denominator by 10. 100 times 10 is 1,000. I then cancel down. 25 goes into 75 3 times. 25 goes into 1,000 40 times. Either way, I get 3/40ths as the final answer. Sometimes percentages are given as mixed numbers. For example, 33 and 1/3%. To change it into a fraction, I begin as usual by writing the percentage over 100. I need to make the numerator into a whole number, because the fractions part is a third. If I multiply the entire number 33, 1/3, by 3, we'll get the whole number. 33 1/3 times 3 is 100. Since I multiply the top number by 3, I must multiply the bottom number, 100, by 3 to give 300. I now have 100 over 300, which cancels down by dividing top and bottom by 100 to give 1/3. So 33 1/3% as a fraction is 1/3. If we want to write a fraction as a percentage, for example 3/8, and we try to use the method of finding an equivalent fraction whose denominator is 100, there isn't a number we can multiply 8 by to give 100. So this method can't be used. Instead, we use the general method which can change any fraction into a percentage, and that is to change the fraction to a decimal and to multiply it by 100. To change 3/8 into a decimal, we divide 8 into 3.0000. 8 goes into 3 0 times remainder 3. 8 goes into 30 3 times remainder 6. 8 goes into 60 7 times remainder 4. 8 goes into 40 5 times exactly. As a decimal, 3/8 is 0.375. To change it into a percentage, we multiply by 100 to get 37.5% or 37.5%.